Warning. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are warned that the following program contains images, references to, and voices of deceased persons. Viewer discretion is advised.
Coming from the vault this week is the 2015-16 Grand Final, St Mary's versus Wanderers, or what St Mary's people might like to call it, the Shannon Rioli Gold Grand Final. Yeah, I think sort of going into the season, Jared Nish, an ex-Fremantle Dockers coach, gave the club a ring. Jared had also played at St Mary's, and gave us a bit of an insight that a guy called Luke Barth was moving up to Darwin from Geelong, very good footballer. So we're a little bit lucky that we got a bit of an insight that he was coming up, and our treasurer Craig Pollock got him a job, and we sort of locked him away before any other club had got onto him. So, yeah, really big pickup for the club that year. He went on and won the club best and fairest, and huge for us. And Daniel Lewis he played a couple of games at Nightcliff the year before, and he'd moved up and he was going to be a fly-in, and he flew in a couple of times and enjoyed Darwin as well. And he decided to move up, and picking up those two players going into that season was absolutely massive for the club. I remember going into that game, Ben Long had been suspended. Michael Long rang me up, I think it was on the Monday or the Tuesday, and he said, can we go summons me for lunch? So we went for lunch at the Avenue, I think it was, and we're mainly there to speak about Ben and trying to get him off the tribunal and that. And we spoke about a lot of things and that. And the year before, Wanderers had beaten us in the grand final, and I could remember driving to the game, and there was all Wanderers. There's blue and gold streamers absolutely everywhere. Our crowd didn't really turn up real well. They weren't wearing the St Mary's stuff. And Michael and I sort of spoke about that a fair bit. And we really do need our supporters, to support us for this game. And we come up with this wear your green and gold, wear your green and gold to the game sort of thing. And Michael kick-started it, and we've got a very strong social media platform. And Liz Cruz absolutely instrumental in this. And and Michael started off this wear your green and gold to the game, and send in a video of support, for the club. So the next thing, all these videos, started coming in from all over Australia. I even think there was a video coming in from Canada. A girl was wearing a green and gold and jumped in the snow, and it really picked up. It really picked up momentum for that game. And I remember that year driving to the game, and there's driving along McMillan's Road, and that year Rothdale Road, there's green and gold support. The streamers absolutely everywhere. And I remember, I think it was Amanda Dalrymple, Debbie Velojo, and Terry Anstairs got up at 4:30 in the morning and covered McMillan's Road in green and gold streamers. I remember just driving to the game, just think, God, it's a lot different to this year. And Saints supporters were there in really, really big numbers. Everyone was wearing their green and gold colours, and I think it was just that momentum and that campaign. The players really felt loved, and I just think it made just a massive difference for the game. It's just that wear your green and gold campaign was just the players, and I think it was the supporters that really got the players over the line that day. When the job came up, no one applied for it. I'd coached most of those champion old players. I'd been around a long time, so I had a fairly decent idea that if we trained at this level, you're going to be fairly successful. And people say, do you feel the pressure? But I'd been around the club 20 years, played here a long time, so just very, very grateful that those champion players, and a lot of people thought they were finished. Like when I got them, they were about 31 when I first started coaching, and they were just, the McFarlanes, Anstairs, Velojos, Carl Loads, they were just absolutely phenomenal. Jack Long, the Ben and Shannon Rioli, just the support they gave was absolutely phenomenal. Wanderers and St Mary's rivalry, we played each other 4 grand finals in a row, and they were tight. I think they'd beaten us 3 times that year, plus they'd beaten us the grand final before. But you just never knew what you were going to get, from the Wanderers Footy Club, and the rivalry. I think supporters as well are such close games. They're usually within 10 points. So it was, it was a big game coming in. I think, and something that probably goes under the radar a bit. I think you've got a point system these days and you've got fly-in rules and that. Like, I think St Mary's that day, the only fly-in we had was Jack Geary, and I think we were at 4 points, and Wanderers were the same. I think they had one fly-in and they were at 4 points. So it was a real local feel amongst the two clubs, and I think we've got a lot of respect for each other, you know, from that. So things, yeah, we cross the line and we go at each other, but even afterwards, I see Wanderers people now, and there's just that, or from that era, there's just, you always shake hands, have a beer, or walk into the airport hotel there, and there's the Wanderers mafia of, Darryl Window or the Slugger, rest in peace, and you always have a chat, John. So even though we were really big rivals on the ground, off the ground, we just did seem to get on, really, really well.
He's going to take on the responsibility himself. He'll kick from 50. Chance to get the first score. Will it be a major or a minor? He gets his balance. He has a good look at it. He stutters a little bit. He's got the nerves. He bangs with the left boot. He leaves it out to the right, and it stays there. It's a minor score. So Saints get the first score at the 3.5 minute mark of the first term. They have a point. Yeah,
and I was just going back to the play with Daniel Motlop. He's a good reader of the play. He left his opponent in Peter McFarlane to kill the contest.
Motlop kicks to his own advantage, favours the outside of the ground. Nice mark taken over the back. Wanderers at right half back. Scoreboard side, St Mary's lead after 3, coming up 4 minutes into the first term. But a big mark over the back. Play on called, the umpire not paid in the defence for St Mary's. Ball in dispute. Wanderers slightly in attack on the outer scoreboard side. Give it to me, said the field umpire, Simon Walker, his 7th season decider, and he will toss the ball in the air.
Free kick in midfield, gone to Shannon Rioli.
And why? Shane Thorne.
No. Yeah, right in midfield there, Shannon Rioli.
Thomas Motlop, Thomas Motlop.
And Shane Thorne throwing a few there as well on centre wing, Charlie. Yeah,
they were going to bait him today, Shane Thorne. He's got a short wick and we know it.
Motlop it is. Motlop kicks inside forward, 50 favouring the outer, running back. Braden McLean, one hand mark to Daniel Motlop. Will see the ball out of bounds. The defender's best friend, the boundary line, 20 metres around from the St Mary's goal. Going to the airport end here early in the first term, coming up 5 minutes. 20 metres around from the St Mary's goal, right forward pocket, grandstand side, tossed in by the boundary umpire, Raf Clark VV, ball drops free, Erlinson gets the ball on the non-preferred left, kicks it up to the wing, it loads, first touch, wrapped out by Orton to Williams on the left foot, goes inside forward 50, Mitch Taylor dropped an absolute sitter, coming back Braden McLean's had plenty to put, taken high, Justin Cooper, that's a reportable incident, and Justin Cooper whacked Braden McLean, had his head down over the footy. That will be viewed, in fact he is being reported, I reckon. Justin Cooper, it is a grand final.
That was very, very dangerous. I think he got his head in his neck area then.
Certainly did, front on. Cooper, Braden McLean to take the free kick. Braden McLean, left full back, defending Wanderers, defending the airport goal. 5.5 minutes into the first term. St Mary's one behind, Wanderers yet to score. Field umpire completes the paperwork. That's Simon Walker. Good free kick, warranted free kick, and I reckon a warranted report. Braden McLean seems to be okay.
I reckon the umpiring's been pretty good for the start of this game. We know it's going to be physical, we know it's going to be intense, but that was certainly a high shot.
Well, it was the longest entry in a umpire's book I've ever seen. They're still riding.
He's riding long end, doesn't know the short end. Ball now picked up, kicked by Wanderers, heading for the boundary line. Over a marker out of bounds on the full. Peter McFarlane takes it between wing and half forward grandstand side.
McFarlane, the captain for the St Mary's Football Club, pumps the ball inside 50. Target is Raf Clark. Got hands to it. Off the pack, Ewing takes it. Handball's off, or just drops the ball in the direction of Cameron Islet. The ball pushed out of bounds after Islet couldn't take it cleanly. So 15 metres around from the St Mary's goal face, right forward pocket. Kicking to the airport end in this first quarter. 6.5 minutes gone. Ball tossed in. Ruckman, McFarlane, VV, so too Daniel Motlop. Handball comes out now. Quick kick comes out from the Eagles. Attacking it hard. Shannon Motlop takes it. Good hands to Thomas Motlop. Quick kick out towards left centre wing in the direction of Smart. Orton with him. Does he keep the ball in? No, he does not. It'll be a boundary throw in right in front of our central commentary position. St Mary's one behind. Wanderers yet to score. 7 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Good work, Orton, it was, but party trick that didn't get rewarded. VV comes late to the ruck contest, got his left hand, knocked it back towards the boundary line. Josh Cabillo with a footy nailed by Orton, puts him to ground right on the boundary line. All legal, says the ump.
No prior, Charlie.
Inside 50, St Mary's 5, Wanderers 0 at the moment.
Doing all the work here, the St Mary's team. Rush kick came out of the middle, hard runners. Jerome Motlop got to it, kicked it off the ground, got it down towards Shannon Motlop. Down to Motlop, tapped it off to Shannon Motlop. He didn't get it, whistle's gone.
Here, Charlie.
It's going to be Cook's going to get the free kick, I reckon, for Wanderers at the 50. And there's a wrestle out of the play. What can you see over there, Tash?
Jerome Motlop and Geary.
Yeah, Geary whacked Motlop after disposal. That was a relayed free kick, Charlie.
High tackle there on Saints. Are going to win a free kick in the back pocket.
Justin Wilson taking the mark, Charlie.
It is.
No easy kicks out there at the moment.
Cura on the mark. He goes short across and gives it off to Iggy Vallejo.
Vallejo goes back by hand. St Mary's now need to clear their defensive 50. They're defending the Michael Long goal. They do, and they do it nicely. Coombs, no Labastida on the outer, has a bounce, runs his full measure, kicks to centre half forward. Ewing in front, Daniel Wheatra, his nemesis. Wheatra beats him pointlessly. Picked up once again, McLean. McLean goes to left half forward looking for Erlinson, and a proppy Erlinson with the interchange and coming on in his place.
Cooper ran underneath the footy there, and they had runners going forward. Saints, they didn't grab the opportunity.
Tossed in by Michael Simpson in his 24th grand final in the NTFL. It's on the centre wing, slightly favouring Wanderers. Ball kicked off the ground by Williams, and kicking in danger, the field umpire said, and it'll be a free kick, and the free kick goes to Nathan Jakura. I reckon it's his first possession, Jared.
Yeah, it is, and he's certainly a danger man. They'll be paying him some attention. All across the ground, both clubs, both teams are niggling each other.
Jakura passes the ball wide. Hugging the boundary, Nook Mansell taking the mark. Josh Cubillo offers the lead. He's going to go longer than that inside, attacking 50. Cook lined up beautifully on Jack Long, outbodied him. Couldn't take possession of the ball. Jack Long marching it back towards the goal line and pushing it through under immense pressure there from Adam Cook. Rushed through for a behind. A behind it is, a piece to Wanderers and St Mary's. 9.5 minutes gone. Jack Long now to bring the ball back into play. Long on the left boot. Goes to the target there of Iggy Vallejo. He's had a few touches deep in defensive 50. Vallejo steady. Looking, Michael Coombs offering a long lead. He's in space, but he decides to go much longer than that. Target down there. McFarlane goes high. Who's down? Coombs is down. Pushes the ball to his advantage initially. Challenged there by Sam Christie. And Christie pushes the ball out of bounds. To the left of the scoreboard. Be another boundary throw in. 1 point apiece. 10 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Good defender Christie, and Bates there as well for Wanderers. Here's the throw-in out on the wing far side. Knocked down by the Eagles, straight down into the hands there of the busy Andrew Lovett. Lost it towards the boundary line. Holding on a little bit there was the tackle. Umpire says it's all okay as the spillage goes to the boundary line, and he's asking for a throw-in. So John O'Miles to do the ruck work. He's got to work it out with VV. It's going to be Miles, the two ruck together. Saints get across there through Jack Musgrove, has to do it. Ball goes to ground. Pack forms over the top. It doesn't come out. Geary dives over the footy. Can't get it out. Umpire says
good
holding the ball. Saints lying over the footy, and Wanderers going to draw a free kick. Neil Vevey gets it on the far side of the ground. Geary, you got to give it back. And he wants to play on, Vevey. Umpire says no.
Geary was pretty lucky not to give away 50 there. He's just got to give the ball back straight away.
So it's a little bit of toing and froing. The field umpire just clearing the mark. Not quite sure why he's worrying too much. VV now plays on. Centres the ball in the corridor. Daniel Motlop, centre half back, has a player forward of him. Takes him on and gives it nicely to Joel Cubillo. Joel Cubillo backward to the centre. In the corridor, going to the Michael Long learning centre end. 11.5 minutes into the first term, a point apiece, back to Daniel Motlop. Motlop with precision, Motlop with precision. It was precise between wing and half forward left, grandstand side. Cook has it. Cook will go inboard, centre half forward. Picks up that time Joel Cubillo. Cubillo a kick and a half from goal. Runs around, puts it in the air. Not quite sure who he's looking for down there. No mark taken. Lovett can't get it. Picked up by the man for St Mary's. And St Mary's will clear and clear beautifully. Geary it is, but he's got nowhere to go. He's all dressed up. A man with a bit of pace out there, Sam Christie. Christie does it nicely. Has a player inside of him, and he can't take the marking interference. No, didn't touch him. High tackle, play on call the umpire. Jack Williams has been busy. Big Miles gets the ball, shoots out a handball to Thomas Motlop. Back to VV. VV too far out to score. Goes to the hot spot, the top of the square. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Running hard at the football was Jakura. Couldn't take it. Was he taken high? I reckon it's a free kick. No, it's a free kick.
St.
The free
Mary's.
kick will go to Orton.
It's Been intense, and what Wanderers are doing really well at the moment is having numbers around the football.
Free kick goes to Jack Long, deep in defensive 50. He goes wide and finds Ben Rioli, left back pocket. He hits the ground running. Takes off, gives the handball to Jack Williams, who was under pressure immediately. He handballed well to Iggy Vallejo. Now back to Ben Rioli in space. Chips sideways, goes to the running machine in Jackson Geary. Finds him at half forward, chips and chips nicely. Finds the chest of Ewing. 48 from goal. Wheatra on the mark. Raf Clark in space. Load in space. Henry Labastida in space. What will he do? He goes short to Raphael Clark. He hangs on the second bite. Perhaps very fortunate. Daniel Motlop read that beautifully there. Raf Clark takes the mark in the corridor, 45 from goal.
It's rare that we see St Mary's catch Wanderers out on the transfer of play. Normally it's back the other way, where Wanderers get the turnover. Even if inside the defensive 50, they're pretty dominant running the other way. But St Mary's on that occasion had about 3 or 4 options for Darren Ewing to kick to.
Darren Ewing did well there with the little chip on the left boot. Found Raphael Clark. Now slightly left of centre. Will kick from about 48 metres. Kick on its way. It will have the distance. It does not quite have the accuracy because he's hit the post halfway up. So 13 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter. St Mary's 2 behinds, Wanderers 1.
Eagles to bring it out. The kick is a good one. Searching for Jared Erlinson. Finds him and he runs away out on that far side, chasing Ewing. He won't get to him. Still chasing Ewing. He didn't get to him in the kick. The pressure made him turn it over straight into the hands there of Iggy Vallejo from half-back. Gave the handball to Orton. Orton out wide. Good kick to Cooper. Finds him on the half-forward line, or between the half-forward line and the wing. Down there is Labastida. The ball's going to come back down into the forward line. It's a high kick inside 50. Ewing got across, Lewis got across there. He couldn't get it. Ball on the ground. Labastida gets a share of it. Bath went looking for it. Whistle goes. Free kick here to Wanderers in defence. Good work, the Eagles in defence. Thomas Motlop.
Yeah, and look at the spread now. Wanderers just get flood back in numbers and just get numbers behind the football, and that's how they set up their attack.
So Labba chucked it away. Motlop flares wide, goes to the right to the scoreboard side. Wanderers up to the wing, pushed out was Geary, play on called the umpire, and we'll have a boundary throw in adjacent to the scoreboard on the out of the scoreboard. St Mary's 2 behinds, Wanderers 1 behind. We're almost 15 minutes into the first term, the season decider. Tossed in by the boundary umpire, over the back Miles, might have got a handball, have fingernail to it. Ball on the ground, in dispute, flipped out, and again in dispute. It's hot work out there, Charlie King, and the ball is out of bound once again under the scoreboard.
We'll get to Tash.
Yeah, it is a very, very hot contest. Geary's looking a little bit worse for wear out here. He had a big, big hit on JJ Motlop.
Boundary throw in, ruck contest, just drops the ball straight to ground. McLean's in there, so too Bath for St Mary's. Lewis trying to push it out. They're corralled. Aaron Motlop's in there. Good tackle being laid by Simon Bates. And the umpire says, I will have it. Centre wing it is, scoreboard side. 15 and a half gone, a tense first quarter. The umpire's in, tosses the ball high. Lewis and Miles, 50-50 ball goes straight to Erlinson. Erlinson the high up and under the half forward. Falling over is Parnell. That knee gave way again. It's given space to VV. VV drives the ball inside 50, positions it beautifully. Van Cook dropped the mark that he should have taken. Snaps on goal. His recovery was exceptional, but he's kicked the ball across the face and out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw in to the left of the Eagles goal face. And there's a free kick paid, is there? I can hear a whistle going. Here's a free kick going to Nathan Jakura at centre half forward for the Eagles.
Shane Thorne's actually got the ball.
It's been paid downfield, has it? No, it's being paid at centre half forward. Jakura's saying it should be downfield. I don't think they're going to change that decision. Jakura at centre half forward. Parnell clearly in trouble for St Mary's with that knee. Now Jakura driving it inside 50, looking for a target there in Thorne. Ball comes off the hands of Eilert, goes to Orton. They tackle him, he gets a handball out somehow. It goes to Jack Long, spins one way then the other. On the left boot, the long kick out towards half forward. Comes off the hands of Taylor. Shannon Rioli's there for nuisance value. Gets the ball away from Daniel Motlop. Again, that player out there in Parnell could not support his leg.
I think it's actually, sorry Dominic, I think it's Anthony Long.
Oh, it could be too. Anthony Long is unable to support the weight on that leg and he has collapsed to ground twice. The kick out went to the back pocket for St Mary's, out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken back there.
He has to come off the ground as soon as possible, Anthony Long, because he's just going to ground every single time and creating turnover.
Well, he's such a long way away too on that far side of the ground. Lewis involved in the marking contest, couldn't mark it, knocked to ground. Ball forced towards the boundary line in front of the scoreboard by Carl Load. McFarlane rather got to him
And
as well.
Shane Thorne's picked it up. He's absolutely gone and knocked him down again, and the runners are trying to get him off.
Okay, keep an eye on that, Tash. So here's the throwing out on that boundary line. Back towards the boundary line. High kick come out of a pack. No one really could get it away. McFarlane front position got there, but Daniel Motlop got around him and punched it towards the boundary line. Sent it over for another boundary line throw in.
Yeah, again, we just keep an eye on that Shane Thorne, Anthony Long matchup, and the St Mary's runners going out to them again. And I think Long just has to come off and get it strapped, get it treated, so they can get someone else out there.
The Islet kicks the ball inside forward 50. Running hard after it is Mitchell Taylor. Raphael Clark-Taylor didn't let the ball go out of bounds. Probably should have done. Braden McLean dive courageously on the football. Don't sit on it, Braden. He didn't. Ball comes out, picked up Cooper. Drag off the footy. Justin Cooper it is, takes the free kick. 30 metres from goal, left of centre, 45-degree angle.
Oh, Shane Thorne is on here. Shane Thorne has just belted Ben Rioli to the ground. He's hit Anthony Long in the head. It's on on the centre wing.
The emergency umpire was going to get up a few times there. I think he should have gone up gone there a lot sooner, Dominic. At the start of the game, he absolutely decked Anthony Long, so they've been going before the bounce.
50-metre penalty might be on. The 50-metre penalty is on. It'll straighten up Justin Cooper. Justin Cooper will kick the opening goal of the grand final, courtesy of a good free kick, plus a 50-metre penalty, which was paid from the incident down the ground.
Anthony Long coming from the ground, Charlie.
Gee, that knee is bad. I think Cooper plays on Cooper's kick.
Daniel Motlop remonstrates with Cooper, but doesn't matter. The goal's on the board. The St Mary's are on the board. 1-2-8. Wanderers one behind, and it took 19 minutes, Jared Island.
There's no doubt it's a deliberate strategy to attack the man from Wanderers at the moment. The last two contests where we had Braden McLean, we had Thomas Motlop actually diving at the football, that's what you want to see. That's where you want to see the attack. At the moment, the focus has gone off the ball to the football, and it's cost them a 50-metre penalty, and it's cost them a goal.
Now, down the other end, Carl Lode's gone straight to Thorne and put him under some pressure. Meanwhile, Lewis does the ruck work in the middle. Did pretty well to tap it down. Wanderers win it clear, though, and they can send it forward off the boot of Josh Cabillo. Down towards half forward. Bouncing ball there out in front of Nathan Jakura towards the boundary line. He couldn't get to it. Jack Williams in close attendance sees it safely over for Saints. So it's down on the half forward line. Wanderers want to get that goal back. 19 3/4 minutes gone. We saw just coming off there for a bit of a rest, Michael Coombs. He's worked pretty hard for Saints in the first quarter. Ball on the ground. Bath goes looking for it. They get to him. He can't get it out. They're calling for a free kick. They're not going to get it. Umpire said he had no chance to get that out and be a ball up outside 50.
Well, the clearance is 1-1 now. Josh Cabillo, I guess, settling the team down with that centre clearance.
Up they go, Big John O'Miles, outside 50. Wanderers in attack, right half forward, going to the Michael Long Learning Centre end at Marara. We've ticked into time on, and it's a 7-point lead to St Mary's in the season decider. Have the secondary bounce. Tosses the ball back. Cameron Islet, well done to you. Still right half forward. Wanderers in attack, going to the Michael Long Learning Centre end. Ball in dispute. And we'll have another bounce. That's 3 on the trot, Dominic McCormack, and the siren goes.
And on the siren, Shane Thorne's just into Iggy Vallejo now. He's had a few targets and they're on again.
It is quarter time. St Mary's lead the game. 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8 Wanderers just the solitary behind.
Good quarter of footy it's been, and it's just a real arm wrestle and a little bit of spite creeping into it. Don't leave us. Quarter time here at Marara in the grand final, and it's Saints up by 7 points. 1-2 to a point.
Territory footy from the Vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We understand that a trip in the Territory can take a little longer than a trip down south. So we'll make sure your car is insured whether you're driving it or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Yep, you get the picture. And we get it too, because we're here too. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians and their mates.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital, television production, energised.
Yeah, Butters, I think the emergency umpire and a few of the other umpires, the emergency umpire wrote down about 5 names in his book from that scrap.
Could be a lengthy night on Wednesday night. Umpire Simon Walker holds it aloft to start the second term. St Mary's 1-2, the Eagles a point. It's going to be Lewis up against VV, and Lewis does it well. Taps it out of the middle. Cut off, though, by the busy Jared Erlinson. Couldn't get the kick away. Wanderers scramble a kick out of the middle up to half forward. Bouncing ball there left behind. They've overrun at the Eagles. That was Aaron Motlop. Saints win it from half back. Kick it up towards half forward. Oh, big crash on Shannon Motlop. He goes to ground. Thomas Motlop on the Shannon Rioli, rather. Thomas Motlop with the footy. Kicks it up forward. In the way, Jack Williams got it on his chest and lost it. Went to ground. The footy did. And the player with the footy's gone over the boundary line with it. Jack Williams' whistle's gone. I think it's going to be a St Mary's free kick, or is a boundary line throw in the latter. Up towards the half-forward line here for Wanderers. VV in front, gets over the back. Aaron Motlop gets it, scrambled a kick. Drops it to centre half forward. Onto it is Jakura trying to pick it up. Jakura 2-3 efforts and left it behind. Coombs on the clean up, picked it up beautifully, banged it on the right boot, sent it out to the vacant wing position. It's a bouncing ball towards the boundary line. Chased out there by Jared Erlinson. He couldn't keep it in play, and it's over for a boundary line throw in.
Jakura just couldn't get the handle on that footy, but a great clearance by Aaron Motlop. Very quick hands, quick to feet as well.
Jakura couldn't get his hands on the ball. I couldn't get my tongue around Jakura.
A millimetre in the St Mary's attacking area. Daniel Lewis couldn't find the footy. Picked up Jossie Cabillo. Cabillo goes back to Thorne by hand. Thorne to Cabillo by hand again. Cabillo up right half forward, running around in ever decreasing circles. It might be out there, Xavier Cabillo. Cabillo kicks it up, and a wonderfully courageous effort to knock the ball out of bounds. Icky Vallejo it would have been, and the ball is out of bounds deep in Wanderers territory. The Muck-Mucks kicking to the airport end here in the second term. It's almost 2 minutes on. No score, tossed in by the boundary umpire. Lewis up the back, in front, knocked forward, and that was Cook. Cook knocks it to his team's advantage. Running in, picking up Jack Williams, non-preferred right. Williams kicks outside defensive 50, in front. Wonderful pack mark, not paid by the field umpire. That was McFarlane. If he gets his aim going, it'll be pretty good, because that was a one grabber, and we'll have a bounce, a field bounce, left half forward. Wanderers in attack.
Was that a mark? Jared?
Well, unless it was touched.
It was juggled a couple of times, and the umpire must have ruled that a Wanderers player touched it. But I'll quickly come back to the rotations for St Mary's. 2 backline players, and Anthony Long and Kieran Parnell, obviously with injury question marks.
In forward 50 here for the Eagles. They have not got possession at this stage. Luke Barth had it, lost it, got it to McLean. He had a fresh area at it, soccering in the congestion there, coming back to McLean. Now Lewis, they've lost it on the outside, taken there by Barth. He's wrapped up in a great tackle. VV it is, low to the ground, brought him down, 55 from goals. The intensity is here, that is for sure. The umpire tosses up, VV up high, Lewis wins it, down to Barth. Barth on the right boot, up towards the centre wing. McFarlane, beautiful little tap front and centre to Cooper. He runs away from the opposition. 2 bounces, inside 50, went to step around an opponent, handball to Shannon Rioli. Free kick has been paid, and the free kick for a high tackle goes to Justin Cooper. He is the man causing some trouble there for the Eagles, and Sam Christie, the offender. Cooper, outside 50. One would hazard a guess to say that the man in the lime green boots would not make the distance from there. The Eagle players going back to take up space.
This is lightning quick, and to bounce the ball twice, running through the middle at speed, plus it's slippery and wet. You can see the sweat on the players that ball is slippery, and for it to come back was unbelievable.
Justin Cooper, right of centre. You have to kick from all of 48 metres. Kick is on its way. He's going to make a liar of me from a distance perspective. He made the distance easily. Inaccuracy, however. went against him. 139, St Mary's. Wanderers one behind, 4 minutes gone in the second.
So Wanderers bring it away now, out towards the wing, towards Nook Mansell. Little push out on Bath, he draws the free kick for Saints.
Yeah, Charlie, Anthony Long's gone back on there. He's limping and so is Parnell. They're both limping very, very heavily.
Geez, going to be costly for Saints. Here's Bath's kick. Up towards Raf Clark, front position, got it, lost it, went to ground. Geary on the clean-up, picks it up outside 50, thumps it to the top of the goal square. Takes a great mark in the goal square. Wow, that was a terrific
unbelievable. Look, you called it, Charlie, last week. He just set himself up and he got himself match fit and back in the game. And he got the ride, he got the sweet, sweet ride to take that at the highest point, and what a mark in the goal square.
So Peter McFarlane, this great player for Saints, what a servant he's been. Chance to kick their second goal. Eagles yet to kick a goal. Cooper got one in the first term. McFarlane directly out in front will kick from about 12 metres. He's not going to miss it from there, Peter McFarlane. Comes in, jogs in, bangs, delivers, gets the goal. Big goal for Saints.
Great nerve settler for Peter McFarlane. He would have found him. He would have been a bit shocked to find himself in that position and up that high. But as the captain of the club, he had to kick that goal, and he made no mistake.
2-3, St Mary's Wanderers 1 point. Tash.
Yeah, Parnell's come straight back off, and I think he's just going to go out there and do the rotations. I think that's all his job is at the moment, to let some of the St Mary's players come for a rest, and then he's come straight back off.
Is he going back, Natasha? Is he playing the back line? Because that is a big risk if he is.
Yeah, he is, and Jack Williams has just come on for him at the moment, gone straight to the wing.
Lewis and Miles in the ruck. Here they go. Lewis won it comfortably once again, gets it down to Geary. Geary goes one way, then onto the right foot, kicks inside forward 50. Michael Long learning centre end. Everyone jumped up, had fresh air shot, kicked out of the air by Shannon Rioli, and Rioli will see the ball out of bounds. 45 metres around from the St Mary's goal, right half forward. The Saints in attack. 6 minutes into the second term, they lead by 14 points.
Long is gone. Anthony Long is gone. He's hobbling off. They're trying to get him off. He's gone to the forward line to have a rotation, but he needs to get off.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. In front, Raf Clark knocks the ball down. Running hard after the football and missing to the near side. Another minor score. A bit wasteful, St Mary's. 2-4-16. Wanderers one behind. 6.5 minutes into the second term.
Yeah, they're certainly getting a lot of forward entries, but they're not converting, scoring shots.
Long kick out comes from that behind. Raf Clark made a contest. Front and centre was Carl Lowe. Beautifully positioned. Kicks inboard. Looking there for Bath. Bath trying to fend off Mitchell Taylor. Achieved it. He was led. Not called by the umpire. Not called. The ball dropped. The Eagles, they extract and go up to centre wing. And now there's going to be the payback downfield. Mitchell Taylor going in on Williams. Jack Williams, it is the free kick here. At centre wing goes to Justin Smart. Smart now kicks forward, finds Lovett for his first touch of the evening. Play on is the call. He goes through centre half forward. The kick was errant. He had Nook Mansell by himself, didn't find him. Nook Mansell handball powerfully, dispossessed the Eagles' opponent was Coombs. Coombs sprints away, has a bounce, palms off Cook. Handballs to Geary, who's been in the thick of it in this quarter. The high up and under into forward 50. Miles couldn't take the mark. Cooper's there, couldn't take possession. The Eagles' defence under pressure. 50 from goal. Tackles are being laid. Motlop thrown to ground. That's Jerome. Coming in hard was Long. No possession taken. McLean over the ball. Loads there. Well, the intensity, the umpire calls for it, and there'll be a ball up 45 metres from the St Mary's goal in the corridor.
I don't know if you can keep playing at this level.
We have not seen St Mary's outrun
blood rule line. The blood rule's now on McFarlane.
Yeah, he copped one really, really high in that contest, Dominic. Very, very lucky to not get a free kick for that one.
Well, I'm with you, Tash. He went in hard and they hit him around the head while he was trying to get the footy, and he must have got a free kick and he didn't. But it allows now the change to happen, and Cameron Eilert makes his way out onto the field.
It's great to see these two teams sort of settle things down a bit because, geez, it's a great game of football.
So the umpire waits until the player comes back into the position McFarlane was in at the blood rule call. It's inside 50 here for Saints. Miles gets up high. Lewis beat him, tapped it down. Pack gets around the footy. They can't get it out. Handball comes out to Wilson. Snaps from the Pack. Down there towards Ewing. Tried to get the footy, just couldn't get it. Daniel Motlop gets the clean up, drops it on the right boot. Goes searching out there for his teammate in Simon Bates. He lost it. Picked up by St Mary's. Little kick in was a good one too. Delivered by Mark McLean. Right on the line. Saints go in onto the ball. Lavender gets the goal, and the free kick was called against him. Yes, he ran into the goal and he kicked it, but there's a free kick. Didn't pick up. Tash, did you see what it was for?
Interference with the marking contest there. Darren Ewing pulled his jumper and put him right back.
Bad one, Darren.
Great effort by Daniel Weecher. That's twice he stopped Darren Ewing having a crack at taking the mark.
Saints in the van once again. Josh Cabillo is dispossessed. He gives down the ground. Taken high. It was taken high, St. Mary. Should have paid the advantage, the field umpire, but play had stopped. Gee whiz, Jared Isle. She's tough in the clinches.
Well, they're not going for the hard ball, are they, Jared?
Sorry, Jerome Motlop again. That's the second time he's done that. Discipline is really, really creeping in here to Wanderer's side.
Justin Wilson it is, laid the ball off to Shannon Rioli. He's always lurking. Wilson on his distance. Motlop, that's JJ Motlop, 45 metres from goal. Going to have to kick from just inside 50, pretty much directly in front. Michael Long learning centre in. Wilson kicks and kicks with all his might. But once again, wasteful. 7 scoring shots to 1. And they only lead by 16 goals. 16 points, the Saints, 10 minutes into the second term.
Daniel Motlop brings the ball back into play. Wonderful kick right through to centre wing. Seaton it is. Cameron Islet in pursuit, gets the ball to Shane Thorne. He's tackled immediately. The ball spills to Islet, goes back by hand, looking for Jack
punched.
Long. And there's a free kick. Ian, talk to me.
Yeah, taken high. Islet was whacked after he disposed. No blood from him, just the cement slurry.
Oh, Cameron Islet delivers the ball inboard, goes to true right centre wing and finds Carl Load. 10.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. St. Mary's leading 2-5 to 1 point. Load now just runs away off the mark from Jerome Motlop. Long kick looking for Daniel Lewis. Goes over the back of the pack. Braden McLean, the first one there, but the boundary beats him to it. And it'll be a boundary throw in. 65 around from the St. Mary's goal. Scoreboard side it is.
And Kieran's just passed on a stat here. There's been extreme pressure. Only 5 marks for this quarter.
Daniel Lewis, I should say, wings the ball inside 50. Cooper kicks to the goal square. That great turn of pace. Contest in the goal square yields another point. 2-6 St. Mary's leading Wanderers, 1 behind. 11 minutes gone in the second.
They're shutting Ewing down. The short kick comes out to VV. Just inside 50. Just went 25 metres. So he's 25 metres deep in St. Mary's territory. Chips it out even further. Gives it to Nook Mansell. He's at 50 now defensive. Looks out to his right. We're sitting in the Morris Rioli stand here at Marara. The short kick goes on further. This is to Lovett, and Lovett with the longer kick now up towards half forward. Cook in front position, knocked away from him. Ball left on the ground. Hard chase out there. Nathan Jakura. He has front position. He knocked the ball back in play. Did it very well. Cook gets it back to Jakura. That's miraculous. Jakura steps them, goes for goal and kicks it. What a magnificent goal! Nathan Jakura did all the hard work.
Brilliant running goal by Nathan Jakura. You could just see that unfolding. Jack Williams had to work harder to keep up with him to get to the contest. But Nathan Jakura got the handle on the footy that time and kicked an unbelievable goal to swing back some momentum.
The chaser was Jack Long down there. He's on his hands and knees, struggling.
That was a 150-metre play there. He called for that ball on the wing. He knew exactly what he was doing, Nathan Jakura.
Back in the middle, Miles and Lewis. Wanderers just trailed by 11 points. Coming up 12.5 minutes in, tossed up by the field umpire. Lewis once again almost caught the football, has second thoughts on that. Ball now in the centre, in dispute. We'll have the secondary bounce just outside the bullseye. We'll do it again, Miles and Lewis. VV lurking, VV picking up Carl Lowe. It'll be Miles and Lewis. Once again, Lewis, the superior leap, gets the ball out in the Justin Wilson direction. Knocked off the footy by Mitchell Taylor. Mitchell Taylor has the ball kicked off the ground by Mark McLean. McLean goes inside 50. Here we go, set up. Peter McFarlane kicks the ball off the ground into the goal square. Ewing can't take the mark. His nemesis, Daniel Weetra, doing a fantastic job. Wanderers, they get the ball. One hand, two hand, a kick. Nice little kick out, and Duncan Seaton takes the mark inside defensive 50.
He kicks long up centre wing, but the mark cut off there, taken by Justin Wilson. Left centre wing, grandstand side. They're doing well in this regard, St. Mary's. They seem to be cutting the play off. Justin Wilson back inside, attacking 50. Mark almost taken by McFarlane. Front and centre Load, held up there by VV. Luke Barth went in, was hit high, and now a holding the ball decision to be given. Who's it going to go against?
Barth.
It goes against Barth. Geez, unfortunate. VV, the tackler, gets to his feet. Takes the ball, He's inside defensive 50. Mitchell Taylor makes space for him. He goes to him. He's in metres of space here. Mitchell Taylor, no one on his mark. Goes long, looking for the run out there of Shane Thorne. Drops the mark that he should have taken. Raf Clark soccers the ball away from Thorne. It's going to be given as deliberate, as it should be. So Raphael Clark sockered the ball away over the boundary line, and Shane Thorne will take the free kick.
Just lazy on that one. He needed to bend down and pick it up.
So Shane Thorne now with that free kick in between left back pocket and left half back. Scoreboard side of the ground. Comes inboard. Shane Thorne kicks long. His kick is errant. Goes to Guy Orton. He flicks off a handball straight away. Goes to Cameron Islet. Struggled to pick the ball up. Now gets boot to ball. Diving forward. Raf Clark comes off hands. Thomas Motlop did beautifully front and centre to pick it up. Kicks to centre half back. Mark taken by Jerome Motlop. Now goes to the wing. VV on the burst. Collects beautifully. Offloaded by Ben Rioli, but they are in space here. Simon Bates takes the mark. 55 from goal. Kicks on goal. In fact, kicks to Adam Cook. And he takes the mark. 5 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle left of centre.
They are absolutely the best in the business at transferring the play. And take a bow, Daniel Wheater. He has stopped 3 and 4 contests against Darren Ewing to set up this goal.
Adam Cook has the shot on goal and he kicks the goal as we see Justin Cooper come from the ground with what appears to be a very sore left shoulder. So Wanderers, within the blink of an eye, they've now kicked the last 2 goals. 2-1-13, trailing St Mary's now by only 5 points. 2-6-18.
And all the possession was with St Mary's. All the play was with St Mary's. But this is the dangerous element of Wanderers. You give them a sniff, you give them some space, they make you pay.
Cook and Jakura with goals here for the Eagles after they trailed by a couple of goals. They got 2 back in a hurry. 2-4 to 2-1, 2-6 to 2-1 rather. In the middle they jump high and again Lewis wins it. Down to Shannon Rioli. They nailed him. Trying to work the ball out of the middle. In there was Wilson. Couldn't get clear. Pack goes over the top and the umpire's going to have to come in and ball it up. I think in the end he is, because it's not going to come out of there. Gee, it's a tough game of footy, isn't it?
Both teams are just diving onto the football because they don't want to let their opposition number get it.
Straight tap down was a good one with Wanderers with the kick out of the pack down towards Shannon Motlop. He didn't get it. He was put out of the contest. Back to Clark, who goes with a long handball back and gives it off to his teammate back there in Jack Long, who goes short to the back pocket and finds Geary. Geary now with control of the footy is going to go over the top here. He wants Clark. He's got there. He didn't turn quick enough, Clark. But in come the hard-running player in Michael Coombs there to get it. Coombs wins it. Goes handball to Geary across half-back. They mucked around with it. Bates went in to get it. They nail him and put it to ground. Spillage comes out in direction of Cameron Island. Kicks it off the ground dangerously towards the boundary line. Rolls over in front of his teammate, Raf Clark, chasing it over under the scoreboard. Here at the 16-minute mark of this second term, it's Wanderers 2-4, St Mary's 2-6.
Just keeping an eye on Justin Cooper. He's gone to get treatment again. He's got a very, very sore right shoulder, as Dominic was saying. Got a big hit.
5-point lead to St Mary's. Will they get the clearance? They will. Jack Williams hung on to, but he will be dispossessed. Good umpiring. They let the ball go. Picked up St Mary's. Kick inside forward 50. Running hard at the football. Peter McFarlane takes a mark on his chest, playing in front of Daniel Motlop. McFarlane kicks from 50 over the back. Can't take the mark. Wheater once again. You're on the money, Jared Island. Daniel Wheater is giving Darren Ewing a bit of a bath down there. Another minor score. 2-7-19. St Mary's Wanderers 2-1-13.
Thomas Motlop brings the ball back into play. Goes to Mitchell Taylor. Taylor finds a teammate deep in defence. Braden McLean, it may be out there, left back pocket. Takes the mark, now plays on, simply hugs the boundary, down the corridor, looking for Miles. Lewis got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Spillage now goes to Mansell, he couldn't pick up cleanly. Handball comes to the advantage of Coombs, but a holding decision will go in favour of the Eagles. And the free kick to be paid there going to Simon Bates. Daniel Lewis, the man on the mark. And he takes that just back of centre wing and then goes back even further. Mark taken there by Cabillo. In between left back pocket and left half back. Scoreboard side, Wanderers kicking to the airport end in this second quarter. Again, he hugs the corridor, looking down there for John O'Miles. Comes off hands. Cameron Islet running hard at it, so too Erlinson. Ball out of bounds, just to the left of the scoreboard, which reads St Mary's leading by 6 points. 2-7-19, Wanderers 2-1-13. 18 and a half gone in this second quarter.
Late in the second quarter. Remember, the first quarter just went a tick over 20 minutes. Wanderers have kicked a couple of goals here. And Saints the one to Peter McFarlane. Here's the kick down towards half forward for Saints. Gets towards Labastida, who lost it. Handball came out to Geary, was pretty cleverly done by Iggy Vallejo. Kicks it down towards Ewing, can't get there. What they don't have for Ewing is that crummer that's getting back there. He's getting the ball knocked away from him. They've done it again, Wanderers, and they win it in the back pocket and thump it out long towards the wing. And the mark taken there by Andrew Lovett. Good player for the Eagles. He's on half-back, kicks it out towards the wing. The kick is going to go right to the boundary line, lands just inside the field of play and then over for a boundary line throw-in.
Cooper's coming back on. He's just come out of the rooms and taken some Nurofen probably. They've just given him some tablets and he's come back on.
He's a player that needs to get front and centre to Darren Ewing.
Wanderers have lifted. John O'Miles has lifted in the ruck. He actually won that contest, running hard after the football. Vallejo dispossessed, gets it back to Jack Long. Long onto the left boot. Geary, just about St Mary's best player between wing and half forward. Grandstand side, has a player running hard on the outer. Raph Clark, can he take the mark? He can. One grab, two grabs. Erlinson must have got a fingernail to it. Clark, handballs, can't get the ball out. Running hard, Sam Christie and a succession of handballs. Wanderers will clear once again, and the pace of Wanderers is showing up now. Wanderers get the ball out. Mansell on the outer wing, can't find the handle. Braden McLean has it, goes onto the left foot nut. Shannon Motlop to centre half forward, and the mark drop by Nathan Jakuru. The first mark I've seen him drop in 5 years. The pressure is immense. Picked up Load gets it to Lewis. Lewis will go by hand, but a high tackle, and the high tackle after disposal. Wanderers get the clearance again between centre and centre half forward.
Gee, poor play.
Yeah, well, it was. They've turned it over. They had everything, Charlie. You're right. And it's Simon Bates.
Simon Bates it is with that free kick, just back a centre half forward, looking to go laterally. Saints have manned up beautifully in defensive 50. He goes to Josh Cabillo. On the mark, McFarlane. Working the mark hard. Now they go to the tall targeting. Cook up high was Parnell. Goes to ground. The ball comes to Eilert. Eilert couldn't clear it easy. Lewis fighting hard for it. Goes back to Eilert by hand. Quick kick out goes to centre half forward. Wanderers in possession. Handball comes to Shannon Motlop. He pirouettes, then goes with the left boot out towards half forward. No mark taken. Cooper couldn't lay a tackle. Yes, he can. Spillage. Doesn't matter. The little kick goes to Aaron Motlop. He's upended by Ben Rioli, but the umpire says that's not going to win my Academy Award this evening.
Great play by Jared Ellinson. He kept his feet. Even though he dropped the mark, he kept his feet and kept his cool and just put it to the advantage side of Aaron Motlop.
A lot of missed tackles, St Mary's. They're getting to the player but not stopping them. Wanderers shrugging the tackle.
Yeah, and if you look at the play in when there's a stoppage or a broken time in play, Saints are just letting their opponent have that sort of half a metre on them, and they can't do that.
Can make the scores level here.
Aaron Motlop. 45-degree angle, left of centre. He's a good player, is the captain. This would be a great moment for a captain's goal. They trail by 1 goal. Kick on its way from 48 metres. He'll have the distance. Will he have the accuracy? Oh, yes, he will. Aaron Motlop, he kicks their third. They move on to 3-1-19. St Mary's a wasteful 2-7-19. 22 gone in the second quarter.
Ultimate professional Aaron Motlop, and he delivers for his team. When the captain needs to stand up, Aaron Motlop did.
So Saints under pressure now. 2-7. They were wasteful earlier on. Had many chances to take a big lead here. They didn't grab them, and Wanderers have closed them down in this quarter. 3 goals. Aaron Motlop, Nathan Jakura, Adam Cook, all for the Eagles, and a goal to Peter McFarlane. So the umpire to take it back into the middle. Almost half-time here. Grand final from Marara. Ball knocked down by Saints was done well, Lewis. And the free kick is going to go to Wanderers. Goodness me, they're getting plenty of the free kicks, Wanderers. Driving kick inside 50. Josh Cabillo came from a long way back. Orton in back there. Tried to chase the footy towards the boundary line. Some assistance came. Iggy Vallejo back to Orton. Orton under pressure. Snapped it out towards the 50-metre defensive. Handball went to Ben Rioli. Runs away. Goes pretty quickly. Gets away from Joel Cabillo. Takes a bounce along the wing. Punches it up towards half forward. The kick's not well. Ill-directed. Daniel Motlop probably read it best and took a strong mark.
Motlop it is. He's at left half-back. Wanderers defending the Michael Long learning centre goal. Goes dangerously, but does it with precision. Braden McLean between wing and half-back. Scoreboard side. Closing in on half-time. McLean up and under. Cook down there, can't take the mark. It seems Cameron Islet might be a loose man in defence. Check that out, please, Natasha. Islet seems to have plenty of the football down there. It goes to Vallejo. Islet once again, second effort, pretty good. Picked up by St Mary's defence, working hard, right half back, but skipping his way through, dancing to the top of the square. In front, Christie can't take the mark, ball out of bounds. Oh my goodness gracious, it'll be a big chance here for the Muck-Mucks to go in at half-time leading. Left full forward, ball out of bounds.
We spoke about the week off for Wanderers and whether it be a benefit or actually a hindrance. It's actually working for them at the moment. They got more juice in the legs.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire, picked up by Islet. Islet goes to centre half back. A weak effort there by Cook. Cook now, Geary has the football, bounces through the middle in the corridor, goes to centre half forward. Ewing can't take the mark, worried out of it by Wheatra. Wheatra, you star, gets it wide and picks up Shannon Motlop.
Shannon Motlop now goes with the left boot, looking for Lovett. Lovett really come into this game in this second quarter. Takes the mark at half forward, drills a lovely pass to Shane Thorne on the lead. Takes that outside 50. 55 from goal, about 20 metres in from the boundary. Now looks for another low pass, looking for Josh Cabillo. Man with the number 22 on the back, and he finds his chest. Wrapped that mark up in front of Justin Wilson beautifully. So he'll find himself left of centre, kicking from about 47 metres out. Can he go the distance?
And up until that point, I was going to make the comment about St Mary's delivery into Darren Ewing. It wasn't to the advantage side. That last kick was, and Darren needs to, as we see the kick, can handball behind
hands off to Shannon Motlop. He kicks on goal, and he's kicked a cracker from 10 metres in from the boundary. Shannon Motlop on his left side has kicked a beauty.
That is the oldest trick in the book for Wanderers, and I don't know why someone doesn't man up on him if he's hanging around the back of a mark. He can kick the ball about 70 metres, and he's a lethal kick with accuracy.
Well, deep in time on in this second term, the Eagles have somehow kicked a couple of goals in a hurry. Aaron Motlop there, and that one from Shannon Motlop. What a beauty. The premiership player from North Melbourne back in 98, was it? 99.
99, Charlie.
Great player he was. Here they come out of the middle. Jack Williams doing the ruck work for Saints. They need to get an answering goal here. All momentum with the Eagles. Clock is ticking down in this second quarter. And still no one with a clear possession out of the middle. Now Wilson scrambles the kick out. Cut off in defence. Thomas Motlop took it, went out wide, gave it to Daniel Motlop. Looked out wide and gave it off towards Lovett. Backward of the wing. Out on the grandstand side, we sit in the Morris Rioli stand here in Darwin. Ball in the hands of Andrew Lovett. Looks up, Josh Cabillo's short, doesn't want that option. Down further, waiting for it down there. Will be Bates if it hits the ground. Saints at the back, big fist came. Nicely done out. Raf Clark knocked it to the boundary line. Last play of the second quarter here, a quarter that emphatically belonged to the reigning premiers. They kicked 4 goals in a hurry. Goals to Aaron Motlop, Jakura, Cook and Shannon Motlop. So the lead was 1-2 to a point at quarter time.
Territory footy from the Vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We understand that a trip in the Territory can take a little longer than a trip down south. So we'll make sure your car is insured whether you're driving it or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Yep, you get the picture. And we get it too, because we're here too. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians and their mates.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
Shannon Rioli going down. Can you believe it? Shannon Rioli to full forward, and Darren Ewing's been brought up to the half forward line here, so certainly not a move that I would have expected. I was talking in the back of the box with Natasha and Jared about, in fact, putting Cameron Islet to full forward, but Shannon Rioli in the goal square, marking him Sam Christie.
Yep.
Wow, and Cameron Islet goes across the half-forward line here. Umpire holds it aloft. Second half about to get underway. Lewis against Miles. Lewis wins it again, taps it nicely. Williams comes away off the left boot, punches it down forward in the direction of McFarlane. Got around him and Daniel Motlop. The recovery of Daniel Motlop a little better. Played some tunnel ball back between his legs to Mitchell Taylor. Couldn't pick it up. Geary on the clean-up. Handball out wide. Saints under pressure now. Gets to Ben Rioli. Drops it on the right boot. Searching for Cameron Islet. Gets him in the pocket. They get to him. He's lost the ball to the boundary line. Geary with the handball. Bounces in the danger zone. Saints with control of the footy here. Rioli gets hit high. Shannon Rioli's going to draw a free kick about 25 metres out on a slight angle.
The coaching masterstroke, Charlie.
It's about to pay dividends.
Well,
potentially.
It's 200 game, Shannon Rioli, and there's no doubt Rick Nolan would have put it on him and got the teams to get a little bit motivated by that milestone. 200 games, Shannon Rioli at full forward could pay off in seconds of the third quarter.
Anything puts his team in front. Shannon Rioli, angle about 45. And the distance, well, forget that, 20 metres. Gets in, he gets a little nervous in his run in, gets the stutters a little bit and then misses to the left. That's a poor miss, and he's had two poor misses today. And this, you get the feeling he'll come back to haunt Saints.
Probably the biggest criticism of Shannon Rioli is his goal kicking. He's a super player, but he dropped his head as soon as he kicked it.
St Mary's bring the ball out, favour the outer side of the ground, and mark taken there. Nice mark taken. That time Joel Cabillo, left half back, grandstand side, cleared defensive 50. Cabillo goes inside, looking for Shannon Motlop. He is dispossessed. Well done to the defence. Picked up that time by Wheatra. Wheatra gets it once again back to Cabillo. Cabillo goes to left half forward. Cook dropped what he certainly should have taken, running hard. Jakura kicks the ball off the ground. Musgrove's got to lift his game. Erlinson off the ground, not 15. Play on called the umpire. Correct decision. Iggy Vallejo, the big body, moves and barges his way through. Centre half forward. What are we going to do? We've got a free kick, and the free kick will go St Mary's way, centre half back. Kick the ball wide. Out they go Vallejo. Vallejo outside defensive 50. Goes up along the outer wing. Geary, been productive, been very, very good on the non-preferred left, goes inside. McFarlane takes a mark down on his knees. McFarlane, 3 kicks from goal, has a player wide once again. Geary it is. Geary goes inside as it Geary kicks the ball into Ewing, and I reckon it's his first touch and his first mark.
Yep, the ball delivery was on my list in terms of what St Mary's had to work on to their forwards, and that was perfect. Take a leaf out of Wanderers' book.
Darren Ewing, left of centre, man on the mark is Daniel Wheatra, 40 metres from goal. He is a left footer going to the airport end, not on the board for the goal kicking. They trail by 5 points. Ewing, a specialist. Ewing, still a specialist. Goal, and the St Mary's green team are in front at the 3-minute mark of the third term.
Yep, he doesn't need too many opportunities to kick the goal, but I have no doubt whatsoever at half-time Rick Nolan would have given him a spray.
We'll just get down to Tash.
Yeah, what a goal by Darren Ewing. I think Dominic McCormack needs to start coaching, and I'll be one of his assistants. We called that at the back of the box as we spoke about just before the game started. Great goal, and they needed that one to take the pressure off.
Dom.
Thanks, Tash. There's a great difference between the commentary box and reality, let me tell you. I'll admit that right now. Ball back in the middle. 3.5 minutes gone. Third quarter. The premiership quarter, St Mary's in front by 1 point. The ball tossed high. Lewis wins it down. Geary gets a toe poke at it. So too Mitchell Taylor. Mark taken by Shannon Motlop in the middle of the ground. Just dabs it out wide, looking for Thorne. In hot pursuit of him, Mark McLean goes without the ball. So too VV. Mark McLean tries to belt it to the advantage of St Mary's. It goes out of bounds. The Eagles calling for a deliberate, and the umpires, I think, Ian, quite sensibly having nothing of that.
Absolutely.
Boundary throw in. Grandstand side, it is Lewis and Miles. Lewis wins it. It goes straight to VV. Wilson on the ground. That's Justin Wilson for St Mary's. Gets it. Nathan Jakura belts him to the ground, and the umpire says, I'll have it again. Be a ball up about 25 metres inboard from the boundary. Right in front of the grandstand. Great crowd here this evening. The ball tossed high. Lewis goes up again, wins it again. This time straight down to Duncan Seedon. Got rid of the ball. Wilson got a handball away to Bath. Now on the left boot. Torpedo. Will it stay in? No, it won't. Out of bounds on the full. Gain distance. But Daniel Motlop to take the free kick at left half back for the Eagles.
Nathan Jakura down there, Natasha, coming off holding his jaw, the left jaw. I reckon the errant boot of a Wanderers player might have got a bit of friendly fire.
McFarlane now comes from half-back, kicks it up towards the wing. It's a good long kick. Cook from the back. Couldn't get there. Front to Raf Clark. Got it towards Lewis. Lewis out to Labastida, on to Biggie Vallejo. Comes off the wing, pumps it long inside 50. Shannon Rioli there, but it's coming in from the side. Terrific mark in defence there, taken by Daniel Wheater, and geez, had a good game. Kicks it out wide, searching for Thomas Motlop. Got the best of it, pushed it towards the boundary line. Ben Rioli with him, taps it back in the field of play, only for Motlop to feed on it. Motlop caught with a ball towards the boundary line. They can't get clear here, and the umpire says he will ball it up. Sam Christie seen over the boundary line with the ball in his hand. Check the score here. 3 goals, 8 St Mary's, 26 Wanderers, 4-1-25. Ball belted back over the boundary line again. Jared.
Yeah, and I wonder if Tash can give us an update on the injuries, because I can't see Anthony Long down on the bench for St Mary's, and Kieran Parnell has not moved since the start of this quarter.
Yeah, and Nathan Jakura has been checked out and he's all good to go back again, and I'll check up on those injuries, Jared.
Kick and a half out from the St Mary's goal, left half forward, going to the airport end, a series of handballs. Jerome Motlop kicked it up and under, not 15, play on. Big chance now, the Wanderers defence working overtime. Daniel Motlop dropped it, he was under a fair bit of pressure. Jerome Motlop back there, it's in the goal square. St Mary's deep in attack, airport end, 5 metres from their goal. They lead by the solitary point, 6 minutes into the third term.
It's a slippery footy at the moment.
It is slippery, it's hot too, I reckon. Jared Island tossed up by the field umpire, up they go, knocked back. St Mary's working hard, up and under, clearance kick by Wanderers. The boundary umpire has got some work to do, and the boundary line has been touched. Not deliberate, and we'll have the boundary throw in 65 metres around from St Mary's goal, right half forward, grandstand side.
Boundary throw in to take place now. Lewis up against Miles. Miles wins it well, went to Seedon. Seedon comes out here to Cabillo, the high up and under. Iggy Vallejo underneath it. Smart did well to put Iggy Vallejo off, and Cook comes in. High tackle perhaps on Iggy Vallejo? No, the umpire's having nothing of that. Right in front of the grandstand.
Why not?
Well, don't seem to be having anything of it, Charlie. That's been the theme so far. From the ruck contest, the ball pushed towards Labastida, held on to by Thomas Motlop, gets up, takes possession, handballs to no one. Jakura comes through and picks it up, crashes through the pack. The high up and under marked on the chest by Daniel Lewis. Right centre wing, takes that mark. Looking for movement up forward, goes long, wonderful looking drop punt. Daniel Motlop sets himself, Peter McFarlane was there, couldn't take the grab. Jakura did well front and centre, pushed the ball in front of himself, got it away to Cabillo. Mitchell Taylor now, farms out a handball and love it, back to Taylor now through to Shannon Motlop. On centre wing, away for the Eagles, chips inboard. Raphael Clark will run onto this and take the mark for the green and gold.
Great mark, Raf Clark, loads up with the right boot, goes searching out wide for Coombs, too far under the foot, he lost it and gave Mitchell Taylor a chance. Mitchell Taylor's handball put his teammate under enormous pressure. Thomas Motlop, he lost it, ball on the ground. They're calling for a free kick here. Saints, Wanderers, they're not going to get it. Along the boundary line to Luke Bath, picks it up forward of the wing, goes inside 50, deep kick. Wanderers dropping back in defence, take a strong mark back there. The ever reliable Daniel Wheater gets onto the right boot, spears it out wide. Searching kick from him is a real good one. Gives it to Joel Cabillo. Geary gets there, puts him under pressure. Geary has control of the footy. Orton comes in with the assist, and Jack Williams goes in, picks it up for Saints, can't get clear with it. On the ground, they're holding on to Orton. Umpire says it's still all okay. Spillage comes out. Got by Cameron Island, handball over the top to Orton at 50. Wilson gets there, got the handball back into play. Simon Bates on the high clean up there by Wanderers. Umpire let it go on. It's going to get a little dangerous for them. Goes towards the boundary line. Mitchell Taylor sees it safely over, and Cooper calls for the free kick. Players getting a little frustrated.
Charlie, Kieran Parnell's gone back on. He's come off for Michael Coombs, so he's just playing the rotation through the midfield there. He's on Shannon Motlop at the moment. They need to get him forward. Charlie's a liability.
The Wanderers have 30 more kicks and 20 more marks than St Mary's, but St Mary's have 10 more inside 50s, but not converting.
They're inside forward, 50 St Mary's, up and under, over the back, can't take the mark. Deep in defence, left goal or behind post, out of bounds 1 metre around from the St Mary's goals. To be tossed in by the boundary umpire deep in the forward line. The Saints leading by the solitary point, coming up 10 minutes into the third term. Going to the airport end. St Mary's in attack over the back. Wheatra, who tried to play the ruck. He's playing at fullback. He's playing everywhere. St Mary's inside this time. It was Eilert in the direction of McFarlane. Can't take the mark. Geary nose over the football. Jackson Geary into everything. He's like pepper and salt. He hung onto the football and it'll be a free kick. Bad luck. He really attacked the footy. But Neil VV between full-back and centre-half back will clear for the Muck-Mucks.
VV with that free kick. Kicks and is cut off there by Cameron Eilert. He couldn't take the mark. The kick out there was looking for Smart. Didn't find him. Be a boundary throw in. Labastida and Thomas Motlop.
Yeah, that was
Natasha.
a high hit. He's absolutely punched Henry Labastida then in the face and he got away with it.
Well, the boundary throw in. 55 around from Saints goal. They are attacking immensely in the early stages of this third quarter. 10.5 minutes gone from the ruck contest. The ball comes to Raphael Clark. He handballs backwards. Iggy Vallejo needs to pick up and be clean. He picked up. He was tackled. Ball spills for Cook on centre wing. VV takes possession. Advantage is called. Wanderers on the flood. The ball goes inside 50. Goes to the back of the pack. Bates picks up. Runs into the goal square and kicks the easiest of goals. After all that attack, St Mary's concede another goal. Wanderers 5-1, 31. St Mary's 3-8. 26, 11 minutes gone in the third.
And that's where the space was, and that's why Wanderers are so dangerous. They suck their players up the ground, and Simon Bates is one of the best. He can work his player up the ground, get the space at the back, and he's super quick on the crumbs when the ball goes forward.
Medry report.
Yeah, Kieran Parnell, he's gone out. He's a brave young guy, Charlie, but Shannon Motlop knew then his knee gave way. He has to stay off. They have to try and stick to 2 rotations here. Anthony Long is gone for the night. He's on the bench icing his knee.
So going on, Mark McLean from the middle. Umpire throws it up, stays in the circle. Wilson trying to get it out. Couldn't. Lewis doing some work in there for St Mary's. The soccer kick came out towards Coombs. Hard at the footy. Michael Coombs ran very hard. Josh Cabillo stood in his way. Brave as you like. Got to the footy. Put it out wide to Jakura. Went down towards the forward line for Saints. Mark taken at 50 by Adam Cook. Gets onto the right boot. Spears it long to the top of the kick-off line. It'll get down there. And the hands desperately in defence was very cleverly done. Jack Long sees it over for a minor score.
Wanderers just playing in front at the moment, and that's where you're going to get the free kicks. That's where you're going to take the mark when the ball drops short.
Wanderers by 6 points. Long brings the ball back in, finds Eilert inside defensive 50. Favouring the outer side of the ground at Marara. Defending the Michael Long Learning Centre goal, the green team. In this third term, halfway through, Eilert kicks out wide, can't take the mark. Couple of Wanderers players nose over the football, working hard. Player on the ground, Adam Cook. Jackson Geary, not Adam Cook, Jackson Geary and Thomas Motlop.
Usually Geary gives away a free kick when he's in that situation. The umpire didn't pay it that time. He was feeling a bit lucky.
He did not. Geary once again gets a bit of a football, picked up by Justin Cooper. Cooper, nice kick inside forward 50. Who's he looking for? Over the back, can't take it. Daniel Wheatra gets it out to Taylor. Taylor goes by hand and Wanderers are away once again.
They are indeed. The kick overshot Thomas Motlop. He couldn't take the mark, but a handball comes through now to Daniel Motlop. On the right boot, comes inboard, does beautifully. Goes to a teammate there in Duncan Seaton from the middle of the ground. Pumps the ball inside 50. Shannon Motlop out-bodying Jack Long. Moves him out of the way nicely. Ball into the left forward pocket. Jack Long strips him of the ball. No free kick, says the umpire. Play on. Charging through Coombs and Jack Long, and they flick the ball out of bounds. And the umpire says that'll be a boundary throw-in. Both sides calling for a free kick, one deliberate, the other dropping the ball. The umpire says toss it in. 35 metres around. Long, flat throw in it is. VV wins it easily. Straight to Jakura on the boot. Into the goal square. Cook, does he take the mark? He doesn't. Spillage. Jackson Geary comes through. Handball. Errant to Shannon Motlop. Snap on goal. In the goal square. No mark taken by Jerome Motlop. Orton's there. He pushes it through for a behind. The Eagles, 5-3-33. St Mary's 3-8. 26-14 gone in the third.
Without being brilliant, Orton has been good tonight. He really has. He's worked hard back there in defence. Saved a goal for his team then. So they bring the ball out off the boot of Jack Long. Short to Cameron Eilert. Rolls away from him towards the boundary line. Can he get and touch it? I don't think he did. And I reckon it's going to be a free kick here to Wanderers. That's a poor kick in. It didn't give Eilert any chance at all. It's gone outside 50. That's the only redeeming factor in it. The short kick is a real good one too, delivered to Thorne in the pocket off the boot of Aaron Motlop, and Shane Thorne tucked away deep in the right forward pocket. A really tough kick. His team out in front, 5-3 to 3-8. This could be a big blow for St Mary's and a real booster for Wanderers. He's outside the field of play. This tall, lanky player, been out of footy for a long time. He can kick goals. He gets hold of it. He kicks at goal. He delivers, and he delivers magnificently. Shane Thorne delivers when the Eagles want it, and he pushes the lead out, and he strikes a real blow for the blue and gold.
And that's the one that could break the back of St Mary's confidence. It was just a lack of concentration or a lazy kick by Jack Long to create that opportunity for Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne owed his team something, and he delivered on that occasion.
He did indeed, Shane Thorne, a goal to him. So all single goals in there, 6 goals for Wanderers. Good team effort, and all singles in St Mary's 3 as well. So no multiples. The game halfway through the third quarter, the premiership quarter they call it. Third umpire Jack Howard, VV against Lewis. Up they go. VV up and down and wins the tap. Gets it but only as far as Eilert. Eilert smashed to the ground. Gets the ball out to Jack Williams. Grandstand side. Williams is dispossessed. Hard at it. Picked up Carl Load. Hasn't done much. Load under huge amounts of pressure in the back. Surely play on called the umpire. Should have been a free kick. Wanderers left half forward. Andrew Lovett had a good patch in that second term. If he can lift, they're well and truly home as Carl Load is hassled, harried and pushed over the boundary line. JJ Motlop, well done to you between wing and half forward. Grandstand side. Wanderers in attack. They do lead 39 to 26, 13 points, 16 minutes into the third term.
Ruck contest, one down by VV. Coming through strongly was Cameron Eilert, couldn't take possession. Erlinson can. He's dispossessed. Iggy Vallejo just hacks the ball out of the air. Perceived pressure, they might call it. He had more time there, could have taken possession and delivered it upfield. Socketed it out of bounds. Be a boundary throw. An 80 around from the Eagles' goal. Grandstand side we are. The Eagles kicking to the Michael Long centre end in this quarter. Lewis comes from a long way back, wins the ruck contest. The ball falls at his feet. He goes back and gets it again. Kicks the ball high up and under across his shoulder. Mark well taken there by Braden McLean. He's been a serviceable player for them. Takes that mark at left centre wing. Steadies. Kicks down the line. Target down there, VV up high, Raph Clark up high, the ball spills to the back, Bates is there, snaps on goal, it's a dangerous kick. Touches the hands there of Andrew Lovett and goes through for the minor score. St Mary's 3-8-26, trailing the Eagles 6-4-40, 17 and a half gone in the third.
Gee, Simon Bates, he's the X factor, isn't he? He's so hard to mine for St Mary's. He's a dangerous Wanderers player. Here's the kick out towards 50. Lewis from the back got there, didn't get his hands on the footy. It went to ground. Raph Clark with a handball to Ben Rioli, lost it, ball towards the boundary line. Nook Mansell there for the Eagles. Thomas Motlop got onto the loose ball, kicked it up forward, kicked it out of bounds on the full, deep in the forward pocket. So Jack Long to do it all again. We've ticked past 17 minutes here in his third term.
Need more from Raph Clark, Charlie.
Plenty more from him. 6-4 to 3-8. Wanderers in front. He's getting to the foot. He's just not getting enough of it, Raph Clark. He's the big man they go searching for. McFarlane as well. These players have to lift if Saints are to be a chance here. The kick's a good one. Up towards Lewis. And as Bates out of the pack, snaps it away and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
And in fact, Bates was marking up on Raph Clark just then too.
Yeah, I just Wanderers at the moment, they're just setting up quite nicely and they're getting numbers to the football. So their structures are just working at the moment for them.
Luke Bath has the footy, right half back for St Mary's, grandstand side. Working the ball now up to the wing, skirts the boundary line. Lewis over the back, can't take the mark. Ben Rioli front and square, picked up Load. Load tumbles one to right half forward, push and shove. Ewing and Wheatra, the ball on the ground in dispute, and the ball will be, give it to me, said the field umpire. He will take it. No, it'll be a free. Not quite sure.
Put ball up, Ian. You're right.
Up, yep, ball up, right half forward. Inside forward 50. St Mary's heading to the airport goal. They trail by 14 points. Ball now again in dispute. Wanderers defence closing up. Hard taken high, that Wanderers player, and it'll be a free kick because he put his head down and really brave. Well done, Shane Thorne.
First hands to the football and you've got to get your head over it. Well done.
Shane Thorne with the free. Takes that from the left back pocket, drills a beautiful kick to Andrew Lovett. Tried to take it on the chest, couldn't do so. Wilson onto it, caught, gone.
Absolutely.
Just too slow to deliver the ball. Wrapped up by Nathan Jakura, Justin Wilson. Left half back. The Eagles, they are on to everything. His kick short goes to his captain in Aaron Motlop. The boundary umpire says that's fine. He's taken that millimetres inside. Say all you like, Luke Bath.
The crowd are helping the umpire with that one.
He was on the spot.
Was taken.
The umpire, well done.
Aaron Motlop kicks long down, left centre wing. The big men are up. Raf Clark got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Nook Mansell was in, couldn't get it. Errant handball comes out to no one in particular. Orton gets it somehow to Jack Williams. Jack Williams, a quick kick off the right boot, cut off there by Mitchell Taylor. Mitchell Taylor, beautiful play. Not only did he cut it off well, but he put it magnificently onto the chest of Nathan Jakura at left half forward. Jakura now looking for targets. He's going to go long. Down there, Bates was the high flyer. Couldn't take the mark, and the ball trickles over the boundary line. 15 metres away from the Eagles' goal. They're deep in attack, left forward pocket.
Again, because Wanderers have the numbers around the football, St Mary's have to actually, when they get possession, just get the ball onto boot, and that doesn't set up nicely for the forward line
Ruck
players.
contest, the ball comes to Shannon Motlop. He's manhandled this occasion by Coombs. Coombs did beautifully to dispossess him. Ball comes out to Lowe, got a handball to Wilson, got it out to Coombs, couldn't handle it cleanly, comes to Miles. He's dispossessed by Wilson. Wilson, the quick kick. It's under pressure again. Goes to the chest of Mitchell Taylor at left centre wing.
Gee, if Wheater doesn't get you, Taylor will.
A little bit of a cramp, I reckon. Mitchell Taylor uses the handball back to Thorne on the wing. Gets onto the right boot, pumps it up deep inside 50. Crosses the 50-metre line. Big fly there, Lewis. Ball goes to ground. Clean-up work was done pretty well back there by Jim Musgrove, and gave it to Orton, and Orton's kick is a beauty out to Geary. Finds him in the centre of the ground. They've got runners everywhere. Saints here. Out wide they go. Searching kick out there for Labastida. He did well, the boy from Alice Springs, but he gave the handball away. Spillage here for Wanderers. They can't get to it. Labastida with a handball over the top. Third touch from Labba. Labba gets into space, gives it to Ben Rioli unnecessarily. Ben doesn't let him down. No, he doesn't. Runs it and kicks the goal. And Labastida take a bow.
Absolutely. He didn't know what to do in that situation, whether to kick it or handball. And he's got a bit of a tagging role on Thomas Motlop, but he just kept persisting with it and got the handball to space to Ben Rioli, and Ben Rioli didn't let him down.
And I reckon, Jared, Thomas Motlop in one of the contests went to ground, and that was the trick because Labba held his feet.
Absolutely.
Back in the middle, Lewis.
How good is Lewis going at the moment? He is in everything. I reckon he's been the player of this quarter.
He certainly has. Lewis against John O'Miles. They've got to get the clearance though, Tash. There's no point getting a hand to the footy in the middle. Lewis, Daniel Lewis, St Mary's. John O'Miles closing in on three-quarter time. Luke Bath taken by the leg. No, he's to throw the ball away, said the field umpire. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Bath's got a cramp. Josh Cabillo in the centre of the ground in the corridor. 22 minutes gone. 40 plays 32. If it's Wanderers by 8 points, Cabillo kicks inside forward 50. Sitting back, taking a wonderful mark there under a fair bit of pressure. Musgrove. Musgrove has a player wide. Too late, she cried. 22 and a half minutes, the third quarter went. Wanderers lead with 1 quarter of footy to play. 6-4-40. St Mary's 4-8-32.
Territory footy from the Vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We understand that a trip in the Territory can take a little longer than a trip down south. So we'll make sure your car is insured whether you're driving it or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Yep, you get the picture. And we get it too, because we're here too. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians and their mates.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
And just looking down at the Saints interchange bench down there, it looked like the battlefield of Waterloo. Players lying around everywhere.
Off the ground.
He looks like he's got a bit of a hamstring problem. He's doing some stretching down there. Jared, what can you tell us?
I think it's just part of the rotations. He won't be off for too long, I don't think. But obviously a big concern for St Mary's, the injuries. Wanderers so far, full bench to throw at St Mary's in the last quarter.
Okay, well, hold on to your hats. Hold on to your seat. 25 minutes and a little bit to decide who's going to win this grand final. It is set up for a beauty. 8 points the margin here. Wanderers down by 7 at quarter time, up by 6 at half. And at that break, they led by 8 points. Umpire Simon Walker throws it up. VV to jump. He gets there, does really well. Down to Jack Williams, who fumbled. Gave Wanderers a chance to get it. Jakura couldn't get it. Punched on by Shane Thorne, was pretty good up towards the half-forward line. Out comes Carl Load with the footy in front of him. His work was pretty good. Ball left behind there. Gave a chance here for Saints. They can't get out Geary. And then he got it to Load. They got to Load. And out in comes Orton pretty hard. McLean with it for St Mary's. Got an up and under. Knocked away there. Down towards Ben Rioli, couldn't get it. Shane Thorne was pretty good. Orton in the way again. Run into JJ Motlop. JJ Motlop with 2 tackles gave away a free kick. And it wasn't real good from him. His first effort was good. His second, not so good.
Geary, Jackson Geary, the football magnet, got leather poisoning. Just backward of the wing, grandstand side, bombs the ball up left half forward. Up Daniel Motlop, flies over the back. Braden McLean has got Thomas Motlop at McLean. Cool, calm, collected. Picks out Jackson Geary, but he's an opposition player, Geary, on the wing, grandstand side. What's happening? Raphael Clark, he ignores him, not sure why, goes to centre half forward. Raph Clark runs hard after the football, struggling a little bit pace-wise. Coombs gets the ball out in the direction of a teammate, kicked the ball off the ground. That's Darren Ewing, has done nothing, goes in the direction of McFarlane. McFarlane kicks on goal, and the captain knocked it over. That's the second goal, he's the only multiple. 38 plays 40. The Saints within 2 points, a minute and a half into the final terms.
Michael Coombs is coming straight off. He's done his ankle or his knee. He is in pain.
That's his left one, Jared.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. And Michael Coombs has been an absolute contributor for St Mary's with his pace and attack on the footy, but very rare for St Mary's to get space like that. And Peter McFarlane had to convert, and he did.
Free kick in midfield. Mark McLean infringing in the square. Gone to VV. VV out wide now to a teammate, and Joel Cabillo was put under pressure immediately by Wilson. He's kicked up into forward 50. His target there was Justin Smart, leading him to the ball, Musgrove, and it's gone out of bounds. Right forward pocket. Well, just as you thought things couldn't get any worse for St Mary's, the injury list grows. They've got one fit player left on the bench. Lewis up in the ruck contest against Cook. Wins it down. The errant kick into the forward pocket is marked by Jack Musgrove for St Mary's. Wanderers on the attack, but Musgrove snuffs that out for the moment. Plays on now. Kicks long. Up towards half forward. His kick is poor. It's cut off there beautifully by Braden McLean. That's a terrible kick by Musgrove. McLean now brings it inboard. Goes to Josh Cabillo. He marks in front of Cooper. Yes, setting it up nicely here, the Eagles. Looking for a bit of movement. Shannon Motlop out wide, about 15.1 metres, calling for the kick from Josh Cabillo, I should say. Drives it down the corridor, inside 50, up they go. Iggy Vallejo punched it away from Cook. Geary front and centre collected, got it to Jack Williams, who needs to lift and do more. He kicks out wide, looking out there for the run of Carl Lowe. The boundary's going to beat him to it, and the ball goes over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard.
Free kick.
And it is a free kick for deliberate.
Well, he had nowhere else to go. They were all Wanderers players, and he kicked it really wide towards the boundary line. The umpire has made the decision that he didn't try to keep the ball in play, and he's been penalised. So here's the kick back. Wanderers are going backwards with it, and they deliver it out there towards Daniel Wheater. Started up towards the wing he goes. Kick not the best. They've dropped it. Carl Load on his clean-up was pretty good. Hotly pursued out there by Nathan Jakura. Kick up towards half forward. Ewing got
got the free
and draws the free kick. Gets onto the left boot. It's an open goal line. Bangs it goal. Goes right across the face and misses out to the boundary line about 10 metres around. He missed by a long, long way, did the big goal kicker.
He's probably lucky he didn't go through a point, because that would have suited Wanderers very well, because they were set up for the return fire. Luckily for them, positioning in the forward pocket.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire, left full forward. St Mary's deep in attack at the Michael Long Learning Centre end. Now Wanderers have got to defend hard. Wheater running after the football. It goes back, flips the ball out to Geary. Geary up and under, top of the square, out of bounds on the full, methinks. Out of bounds on the full it is, and left full back. The ball will be brought back. Looks like Josh Cabillo down there to bring the ball back. Dominic McCormack.
Josh Cabillo it is. Yet again, another wasted opportunity for the green and gold. Josh Cabillo, left back pocket. Almost 5 minutes gone in this last quarter. The lead, 2 points to the Eagles. Cabillo with the long kick out, reaches half back. Lewis couldn't take the mark, comes to the back of the pack. Bath just hacks it off. And then the kick out away from Taylor goes straight out of bounds. St Mary's calling for the deliberate. And the umpires are going to say, nope.
Gee.
You toss that back in now, Charlie.
Oh,
the word
you,
inconsistent comes to mind.
That is a very inconsistent decision.
There was a free kick given over there earlier on.
Boundary throw in. 50 away from goal. Lewis and VV neither can get hand to it. Taylor comes through strongly, gets a handball away as he hits the ground. Geary comes in and picks it up. He has leather poisoning. The left boot unloads. Clark, in fact, it's McFarlane up. No one takes the mark. Thorne comes through, delivers by hand to Wheater. Wheater calm. He delivered that beautifully out wide to Duncan Seaton. Seaton now into midfield. Load challenges Mansell. Mansell couldn't take the mark. Load collects. No, not just yet. Manages to push it to the advantage of Musgrove. He shepherds off Cook, was held. The ball comes to Geary. He goes to Clark. Clark on all fours. Gets the ball away, but cleaned up by Mansell. Jack Long thumps the ball away from Shannon Motlop. They still haven't got control, St Mary's. Shannon Motlop does. Toes it away in front of himself. Iggy Vallejo dives in on it. Stripped by Motlop. Ball spills. Wanderers have possession. Motlop. Good handball. Good handball it is to Lovett. Can't handle! And goes through for a behind. Well, pressure football. Fantastic play, both teams. Wanderers lead by 3 points.
Absolutely pressure football, and Wanderers kept their feet in every contest then, and just unlucky that ball slipped out of Lovett's hands.
Long has gone towards Orton, who's dropped the mark and then has gone over the boundary line, pushed over. And you can hear the Saints supporters screaming. They said it's deliberate. And the umpire says, no, throw it in. And they escape again. Duncan Seaton doing the damage that time. Here's the kick off the ground. It's come out to Wilson. He's across half back, just up towards the wing. Got on the right boot. Went with the kick. He's going to find Lavastida in front position. Runs hard at the footy. Bates gets to him. Dispossesses him. Ball on the ground. Courage there by Ralph Clark. Hard at the footy. Pack gets over the top of it. Geary burrowing in there. Can't get it out. And Geary and VV. Gee, they've been in a few packs today lying on the ground. Umpire says it's a 0-0 draw.
Just have a look at Wanderers set up then. They didn't go to ground. They set up. They're ready for the next contest.
VV wins the tap, knocks it to his team's advantage. Erlinson up and under, goes in the full direction of full forward. Motlop, that's Shannon running hard after it, leaves it for Bates. Bates is wrapped up and tackled unmercifully.
Whoa.
Tackled front on. Give it a me centre field umpire.
That's holding the ball.
Come on.
He took him on.
Gee.
He went one way, then the other. It's tossed up 35 metres around from the Wanderers' goal. Knocked down. Wanderers have got a couple of players here. Picked up Cabillo. Cabillo gets the ball out to Erlins and dropped it red hot. Absolutely red hot that time. Raphael Clark gets the free kick. No, it doesn't. It goes back to Mark McLean. Grandstand side. Left half back. 41 plays 38. Wanderers by 3 points. Big Daniel Lewis didn't quite take the mark. 8 minutes in. Wanderers by 3 points. And we've got a free kick.
Kicking in danger.
It was kicking in danger. You're right, Natasha. And Josh Cabillo on the wing favouring the grandstand side will pump the Muck-Mucks back into attack.
Cabillo, in fact, handballs off to a teammate there in Braden McLean. He kicks long into forward 50. The mark almost taken by Lovett. Spills to Wilson. Handballs to no one. Jack Long just carves a path through. Goes to Orton. Orton up towards centre wing. Cut off again by Braden McLean. In fact, it was Christie gets it out to McLean. Up to half forward. Kicking in danger by Thomas Motlop. I don't think there was any malicious intent in there, just intent for the ball.
Dominic, Daniel Motlop's come off. He's just walking around the boundary line, but I reckon he's got a niggling injury. So McFarlane's probably, Neil Veve's picked him up.
Carl Lode with the free kick. Kicks long now down centre wing, and Carl Lode looking the worse for wear. Lewis in for the marking contest. The ball spills to Cooper, clearly being held as he handball the ball away. Comes to Geary. Somehow clears the pack, gets the kick away to Labastida, drops the mark he should have taken close to the boundary line. Bath from 55 tries to take possession, being challenged by Christie. Couldn't take possession. Christie gets it out of bounds. Good tough play, held up what should have been an opportunity for the Green Machine.
Players starting to cramp now. The intensity of this game has not dropped off, so fitness is going to be a factor.
9 minutes gone in this last quarter. The boundary throw in to take place here at left half forward. High toss in. Raf Clark up against John O'Miles. The ball goes to the back of the pack. Cabillo tries to run through. Tackled by Ben Rioli. A number of times he spins through it. Gets the kick away. Cut off again by Lode. Up into forward 50. Clark with an opportunity. Takes the mark on the chest. 48 metres from goal. Calls. There's a lot of calls for it short. He goes longer and in the corridor. I don't think he meant it, but Daniel Lewis has taken the mark 25 metres in front of goal.
Well, he had two there. Ben Rioli and Lewis were there, so I reckon he rolled the dice, didn't he? One of them was going to get it.
So Daniel Lewis, the centre-half forward come ruckman, has an opportunity to put St Mary's in front. They have not made the most of their opportunities. He kicks on goal and he puts it through the middle. St Mary's, they move on to 6-8-44, leading Wanderers 6-5-41, 10.5 gone in the last.
Oh, Saints with their noses in front.
Dean Rioli's come down to the bench. He's basically getting into his charges at the moment, and Michael Coombs is back on the bench as well, ready to go.
Daniel Lewis has certainly deserved a goal for his work rate, and I reckon that's the loudest I've ever heard St Mary's crowd cheer.
They've set it up. Hold on. We've gone past 10 minutes. And they're just in front, St Mary's by 3 points. Wanderers have been tough all night. They will not go away. They sent John O'Miles in to do the ruck work. He's big and he's strong and he's fresh because he hasn't had much of the rucking, and he wins it and he got the tap down, but they couldn't get the clearance. They'll come out of the middle. Saints here. No, they won't. A free kick goes against them in the middle, and it's going to be Cabillo that's going to get it. He's got it in the middle. And he will thump it from there. He gave it a wobbly old kick. It's gone down inside the 50-metre line. It bounces. No one can get to it. Cook at the back.
It's a free kick
gave
for a hold, Charlie.
Away, but a free kick pulled out of it.
Lode,
it'll be. They're going to get it.
And Lode with that experience, Charlie, down back.
Did well, Carl Lode. Has it across half-back. He's been good in this last quarter. Spearing kick is good to Cam on it. They're looking pretty good here, Saints. I like the way they're building. Off unnecessarily to Orton. Gave it back to Cam on it. Onto the right boot he goes. Kicks the centre-half forward. But Daniel Motlop read it best. Gee, just anticipated Motlop and took a great mark at centre-half back.
The Greens by 3 points. Motlop mucking around, picked up Cooper, hasn't done much, got to go. The work over now by the defence of Wanderers has got to go. Braden McLean been pretty good. Goes outside to Jakura. Jakura grandstand side. Goes to right half forward. Vallejo up. Belied his years. Well done, Iggy Vallejo. Ball out of bounds at right half forward. Grandstand side. Wanderers in attack. The Muck-Mucks trail by 3 points, 12 minutes into the final term. Jackson Geary's been a gun. Daniel Lewis has been a gun. Daniel Wheat has been fantastic, taken high. JJ Motlop, no free kick.
It should be gone.
Gee, they missed a few of those.
Yeah. There was a fair bit of traffic between, to be fair to the field umpire, a fair bit of traffic between that incident and the field umpire. So it's right half forward. Miles, Clark. Give it a draw in the middle there. A couple of Wanderers players taken high there in the tackle by Andrew Lovett. Had about 10 minutes of pretty good football in the second quarter, Andrew Lovett. It has been solid. Cameron Eilert got to lift his team. John O'Miles, right half forward, in front. Wanderers trailing by 3 points. Shane Thorne whacks the ball a little bit further. 55 metres around from the Wanderers goal at right half forward. Wanderers in the final term. 13 minutes in, going to the airport end. The Muck-Mucks, the reigning premiers, trail by 3 points.
Boundary throw in. Carl Lode pointing this way and that. Jakura setting himself, so too Jerome Motlop. John O'Miles now up against Raf Clark. Clark wins it down on as far as Lovett. Lovett got it to Motlop. That's Shannon tumbling a punt into forward 50, cut off by Jack Long. Just returns fire. Kick and hope he might hit the chest of Raf Clark. Couldn't take the mark. Load in, but so too Cabillo. Cabillo, the low drop punt into forward 50. Off hands. Where will it go? Goes to Jack Long. His handball to Iggy Vallejo again. A quick kick and hope. Load creates space behind him. Did beautifully. Suddenly gets possession. Weaves his way through. Then has to handball. McFarlane putting the pressure on Motlop. The ball goes to Wilson. Comes to Coombs. What can he do? He can sprint away. He puts boot to ball into forward 50. It goes to Ewing. It'll spill to Coombs. He's tackled. He gets the handball away. Does he? He's caught with it. And it'll be held up at centre half forward.
Gee.
Coombs, he passes the ball back to the umpire as he gingerly gets up that left ankle, very, very sore. The umpire tosses the ball high, won by Miles, down there to Christie. Christie up into the middle of the ground, no mark taken. Williams crashes in for St Mary's, takes possession, tossed to the ground without possession. Nook Mansell gathers, kicks out wide, and Smart will be there for the Eagles. He has 10 metres of space. McLean closes on him. The kick goes to Shannon Motlop and he drops it. He drops a sitter. Geary the high up and under. Will it be out of bounds on the full? No, it's not. Marked by Lovett. A metre in from the boundary.
So Andrew Lovett out on the wing. Goes infield, wants VV and finds him. Juggled it a couple of times. Took it in front of McFarlane. Went wide with the kick. Set it up for Thorne. They're going across the centre line. And Thorne's going to come back into the middle of the ground now. Steps around McFarlane. Did well. Gave it to Mitchell Taylor. Runs through the centre circle. Pumps it long inside 50. It's a deep kick. It got over the back. Cook was there. And terrific in defence. Vallejo comes out. Goes searching for Orton. Orton wins it. Drops it. Went to ground and punched it out a little bit further. Gave it to Geary. They close on Geary. Geary from the back can't get it. Aaron Motlop in front with the ball in front of him. Picks it up and then pushes it towards the boundary line. And just kept it in the field of play, and the hard tackle there on Duncan Seaton as the whistle goes, and the umpires picked out a free kick, and I think it might be a Wanderers free kick out here.
Yep, high tackle.
High tackle. So the Eagles with a free kick out on the boundary line. Aaron Motlop's going to go short and gives it off and gives it to Mitchell Taylor.
Goes backwards to Mitchell Taylor. 2 kicks out from the goal. Taylor goes forward again. Jakura.
They're just peppering the space, Wanderers, at the moment. So they keep doing that. Something's going to have to give. They're just willing the ball into space and trying to get their quicker plays into it.
Andrew Lovett it is. Andrew Lovett, left of centre, man on the mark. 45 metres from goal. Going to the airport end. It is Jakura. Jakura to kick on goal. Nathan Jakura can put the mucks in front. Kicks distance just there, hits the left-hand post. It is St Mary's by 2 points.
Unbelievable. He's already got a goal.
42 plays 44, sorry, Jared.
Right.
18 minutes, 16 and a half minutes, sorry, into the final term.
He's already got a goal against his name, and that one almost went through.
Jack Long to bring the ball back into play. Looking for options. Coombs trying to give a hard lead, struggling. Jack Long goes long out towards halfback. The target was Lewis. It comes off hands again. It goes there to Jakura. He falls over. He tried to evade them. Ball spills loose. Jackson Geary has it. And the ball's held to him there. Good tackle by Mitchell Taylor, the great Eagles defender. The umpire tosses the ball up. Lewis and VV again. The ball won by Lewis. Then came back to him. Errant kick from the Eagles goes to Jack Williams. He kicks that up towards centre wing. McFarlane there. Didn't take the mark. He was held off the contest. Now a handball comes out to Thorne. Tackled by Labastida. Brought to ground. Kick goes along the ground. Handball out there by Joel Cabillo. Cut off for St Mary's. Quick kick up through centre wing. But there's no one there. No one there for the green and gold. Thomas Motlop's there. Mops up. Kicks long. Looking for Shannon. No mark taken. A Shepherd is the free kick given. And that shepherding free kick will go to Shannon Motlop. Wow. On against Cameron Islet.
He could kick this.
So Shannon Motlop. Natasha?
Yeah, I reckon he can kick this as well. Shannon Rioli just got caught in the back foot then when that ball went forward.
So 55, almost 60 from goal. He loads up. He's not going to make the distance. Spillage will be important. Cook almost took the mark. Spillage goes to Ben Rioli. Now the wrestle's on. He couldn't get a kick away. Erlinson crashes his way through. They hold the ball up. 20 metres from goal in the corridor. 18 minutes gone in this last quarter. St Mary's lead by 2 points, 44 to 42.
There's probably 30 players down there All of them right in front of the Wanderers goal here. Got out to Wilson, tried to get a kick out. They do scramble a kick out to Orton. Gets on the right boot. That dangerous kick across centre half forward, but Lavastida was there and kicks it out wide. Does really, really well and gave it to Williams. And Williams goes searching out towards the wing. That's a great kick. Ewing with the work in front of him. He's going to have to work pretty hard because he's getting pressure out there from Wheatra. Kicks it inside 50. Ball is on the ground here for Saints. Handball across to Shannon Rioli. Can he get it? He's got it in front of him. Shannon Rioli. Can he pick it up? He kicks it off. Oh! He's lying
Shannon
on the
Rioli.
ground and he kicks an amazing goal. Shannon Rioli, when St Mary's wanted, he delivered.
Unbelievable. That is a soccer experience coming out. And Thomas Mollop couldn't do anything. He did everything right.
He loves his Manchester United. He's a big soccer fan, and they would even be impressed with that. I reckon that's that soccer skills coming out. Shannon Rioli, what a goal.
Game number 200, Jared Island. He just might.
And that was soccered all the way from centre wing, Charlie.
Yeah.
Centre wing.
Just nothing except absolute desire. And Wanderers under the pump, but they've made a good stuff, the Eagles. They do have extra players here. Ian.
Here's picked up by Jakura. Jakura pumps inside forward 50. Vallejo takes the mark between full back and centre half back. They're defending the airport goal. The Saints time on. Vallejo copped one for his corner in the ribs. Adam Cook.
One-on-one football, everyone's manned up.
They have indeed. Jack Long offers. Vallejo ignores him. He'll go for the long bomb. Favours the grandstand side. Looking for Lewis. Lewis can't take the mark. Ball over the back. Coombs lets the ball go. Kicked off the ground at that time by Lovett. And Andrew Lovett puts the ball out of bounds at between wing and half forward. Grandstand side. 50 plays 42. St Mary's in front. We've ticked into time on in the final term.
3 goals to 0 in this last quarter to the Green Machine. The ball tossed in. VV up against Lewis. Neither really get a clean hand to it. Josh Cabillo, he does. Got a handball out to Cook. He can't pick it up. He slaps it through centre half forward. Gathered by Christie. Tackled to the ground. Jack Williams in hard. Gets a grubbing kick away. Shane Thorne's waiting for it. Drives it inside 50. Long up against Shannon Motlop. Spillage. Nook Mansell's there. He's crashed into. Oh, it should have been in the back.
Oh,
not called by the umpire.
Unlucky Nook.
And the umpire says, I'll have it. 25 metres out from goal. Lewis wins it down. Straight to Jack Williams. Handball goes to Jack Long. Quick from hand to boot. Up and under. VV couldn't take the mark yet. His leg's taken out from underneath him. Erlinson with the spillage. And the mark taken. The Eagles. The mark taken there by Justin Smart. And he takes the mark 20 metres from goal, right of centre. 21 minutes gone in this last quarter. St Mary's in the lead by 8 points. This to bring the Eagles within 2. Right, Justin Smart pressures on. The left footer kicks at goal. And he puts it through the middle. The Eagles, they have a heartbeat. 2 points is the margin.
He's absolutely a quality player, Smart. He's probably been down on in this game compared to his performance throughout the year, but give him any opportunities and he'll make you pay.
Very, very pressure kick, that one. Great goal by Smart, but I tell you what, that nearly hit the post. He just scraped that through.
7-8 to 7-6. Coombs, they're going to miss. He's on the sideline. He can't come on for Saints. He's not going to get a chance. We go to 22 minutes now. The clock ticks past. Just a couple of points, the difference. St Mary's in front. Centre square. Clearance all important. They get at the Eagles. They can't get out of it. Saints get a half a kick away. Gets down towards Thorne. Thorne's tried to give the handball away. Siren there. Saints have recorded a miracle victory. An unbelievable victory. They fall on the ground.
When the Saints come marching in, oh, when the Saints come marching in, oh, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the Saints come marching in.
Sort of went into half-time, we threw the magnets. We're in a bit of trouble, you know, we had some pretty big injuries, in a bit of trouble, threw the magnets around, put Shannon Rioli went forward, Ben Rioli went forward, I think Raf Clark went into the ruck a bit, so Coming into three-quarter time, and the message of three-quarter time was, you are not going to come off the ground. There's no rotations. Been a tough year. We've had injuries. We've had suspensions all years. But I can remember asking the players, just close your eyes and just think that this could be the greatest premiership in St Mary's history. So, and when that siren fell, even when Shannon put that ball through, it was unbelievable. I can remember that siren went and we had our coaching staff, it was Philip Wills, Stuart Davies, Brent Renoff, I think Rusty McAdam. We all these alpha males, and we all turned around and hugged each other. It's sort of a moment I'll never forget. And I remember Stuart Davies bought me a beer that night. We'd always drink mid-strength beer, and he'd come back with a full-strength beer, and I said, "Oh, Stewie, full-strength beer?" He goes, "Yeah, tonight we're drinking full-strength beer." Coming into three-quarter time, Ben Rioli, Henry Labazita got the ball to Ben Rioli, and he kicked a goal right on three-quarter time. And that just gave us a sniff. It just gave us an absolute sniff that we were still alive. So it was a vital goal that Ben kicking that goal on the siren. I've spoken to Shannon about this. I've spoken to Noodle. Spoken to quite. I'll probably watch that passage of play a thousand times. I think it's memorable. But yeah, just Shannon to get in, keep his feet, go to ground, and then kick that goal. It's probably. Yeah, it's certainly a very famous moment in the history of the St Mary's Football Club. At footy training, I coached Daniel Rioli, Willie Rioli, Ben Rioli, Shannon Rioli, so quite a lot of Riolis. And the saying was never burn a Rioli. So if you've got the ball and there's a Rioli, you handball the ball to them under every circumstance. They must be given the ball. So, sort of funny with Jackson. Whenever a player would make a milestone game, so 150, I'd always make a video for him, and I think it was in my last year. It was Shannon Rioli's. It might have been 200th game, and I didn't make a video this day. I just showed that passage of play, and the ball moves pretty quickly. It moves from one end of the ground down to the other end of the ground really, really quickly. But something I think, and so before Shannon's 200th, I just showed that video, and I went around the room and I asked a heap of different players what they what that moment, the players that played in that game, what it meant to them, and it was different. Every player had a different view on it. But something that just really sticks out with me is that the ball's deep in Wanderers' forward line. There's a stoppage, and you can see there's a guy, Jackson Geary's virtually on Wanderers' goal square at that time. Ball moves quickly down the end. I think Jack Williams gets it to Buff. Buff wins a good one-on-one, gets it quickly to Raff, to Shannon. The goal gets kicked. But for someone to have the fitness and the mental toughness to still be running that hard at the end of the game, he'd had leather poisoning, he'd played that well, he was clearly best on ground, but it was a phenomenal effort at the end of the game to still have that running capacity. And he wasn't involved in the play, but it makes me shake my head to this day that someone can run so hard at the end of a game. I think we lost the year before, and honestly, we would never have won that game if we hadn't lost the year before. I think it was the crowd and the players just really, really wanted to win. They obviously we went back to back the next year as well, and so it set a good mantle for the next coming years as well. The club's in a really, really strong position at the moment with juniors. There's a lot of depth and a lot of talented depth, and Chopper's doing a really good job. But you be around this club for a while, you've got a good idea, and he's got an idea of what's required to win. Got a required what personnel's required to get there. So he did a remarkable job this year. The club's in a really good spot going forward. Juniors are very, very strong, and the club's in a good position.